live from Islamorada, Florida at the 2012 ACAT Worlds. I'm here with Regatta organizer Ben Hall, Regatta chairman Ben Hall, and Ben, you know, it looks, with the conditions steadily worsening, it looks like that's pretty much going to put a wrap on it. Are you disappointed that we didn't get more racing in, or are you more relieved that we did get the 5 races in and get the championship, given that there is a tropical storm on the way?
Well, I think the answer to both those questions is yes. Obviously, it would have been nice to get in the 10 races for the series. But considering, you know, there's one thing you can do. We planned this regatta for over 10 months, and unfortunately, one thing you cannot guarantee or plan for is the weather. And last year at this time, we had 4 out of 5 days with 0 wind. This year, no one would have thought we would have had a tropical storm, you know, brewing into a hurricane. So, yes, I would have liked to get the 10 races in, but very relieved that we were able to get the 5 in and get the series in. The race committee did an awesome job in very, very tough conditions. Yeah, relieved, I guess, because if it had only been 3 races we got in and still hadn't been able to race on Saturday, that would have been too bad. But, no, it was great we got them in, and I think everybody was happy about that.
And racing still was very competitive up the top.
Oh yeah,
it was really tight.
I mean, I was out for the 3 races yesterday, and you know, the top 15 guys, it was obvious that they've spent a lot of time in the boat in heavy conditions, and it was just remarkable how good the boat handling was at the top. And, so that was really exciting to watch. And the other thing I think is really exciting about the class is getting a lot of new young people in the class. The classes generally needed that, and I think this year there's been this world's a real, put an exclamation point on that. With a lot of good young sailors coming out of the Olympics, the America's Cup, and stuff like that. So
good influx of young talent.
Yes.
And you've been around this class forever. I mean, you're a grandmaster in your own right.
Great grandmaster.
Great grandmaster. You weren't able to sail this event because of a knee issue.
Right.
But how has the class changed? When did you first start in the ACAT?
I started sailing ACATs at age 50. I wish I had started at age 15, but 1996 I got my first boat, and I'm on boat number 23 right now. Whew. So, and there's a bunch of my boats that are sailing in this event. Some of the boats that I sailed in are here. So.
Yep. How has the class changed in the time you've been around it?
Oh, it's
more young blood
huge
now?
Changes. You know, I think most of it is you know, the construction, the design, the early designs that when I was sailing, first had, you know, Catamaran sails and aluminum mast, and going to carbon mast, and carbon sails, and you know, lighter sails. But I think the real, you know, there was a couple of big changes in the class. I think the flyer in 1999 was
Nils Bunkenberg.
Yeah, that was definitely a sort of a
that was a
leap.
real breakthrough boat.
Yeah, and boats are still, you know, reasonably competitive today. And it's neat that a boat like the Nikita, which was designed 10 years ago, is right at the top of the league today.
Yeah.
But the big change recently has been the bendy carbon mast, much fuller sails, curved boards, much fuller hull sections, and the boat speeds compared to even say 4 or 5 years ago have gone up dramatically. Let's go faster upwind, a lot faster downwind. Track easing downwind is now de rigueur. It's like a little tough in this condition.
When it's this nasty.
But when you see Misha come around the weather mark and he's on the wire.
He just doesn't care.
Like, he just sends it. It's like
he just doesn't care.
Yeah. So those are, you know, and that's really exciting. You know, and the boats are close. They're not boiling, but they're definitely producing.
There's not a whole lot of boat in the water.
No. And I think next year we'll see a lot more people with T-foils and L-foils on the rudder for sure. And somebody will figure out probably someday how to get L-foils down through the hull. You know,
yeah,
but that's how
talking about that.
Yeah. And you know, there's just a lot going on that way. But, it's good. It's all good. It's a development class. You get to try those kind of things. And generally, if they work, they improve the performance of the boat, and you know, generally just make it faster. Great.
Yeah. All right, Ben. Well, good job this week.
Well, thank you very much. You did a great job. I'm glad we signed you up because you've done a fantastic job.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Ben Hall. I'm Will Clark, live from ACAT Worlds. ClarkSail.